Hello guys, welcome back to the 2023-24 SDPN NHL season previews. Today we're going on to the Detroit Red Wings, a team looking to make a huge step after last season. Now after a measly 80-point campaign last season, the Red Wings went out and had a huge offseason acquiring a bunch of different players, but is it enough to be a playoff team in that Atlantic Division? Well, we're going to be breaking down their entire offseason to see what's next and answering all those questions and more. Now first, let's shout out today's sponsor in Sports Interaction. Get into the game and make your bet with Sports Interaction. The race for the pennant is hitting a fever pitch as the Blue Jays are taking a run at first in the AL East, so you don't want to miss out. Bet before the game or live in and play with all your favorite teams. Go to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN or download the app to get started. 19 plus. Please play responsibly. Now, this offseason featured some massive roster turnover for this Detroit Red Wings team, and looking at it and the additions they made, the big one, of course, is Alex DeBrincat, a superstar goal scorer that they really desperately needed, especially alongside a player like Dylan Larkin. Those two are going to be absolutely feisty. And you see these last couple of seasons, even though last year wasn't perfect with Ottawa and the goal scoring took a bit of a dip, just the last few seasons and the productions he's still been able to have, he is going to be exactly what Detroit needed on that top line and exactly the superstar presence along Larkin that they needed. You also got JT Compher being added from the Colorado Avalanche. A bit of an overpay in the contract in my opinion, but could still be a really interesting second line C. You also got Daniel Sprong, which might be one of their best low-key additions of the summer. And you can see last year, 46 points in 66 games, one of the best 5v5 point producers last year in the NHL. He's going to be a really interesting bet with the Red Wings too. You also got Clint Costin as maybe some fourth line depth. Really solid though for the Oilers last year, 21 points, 57 games, and exactly what they could use in that bottom six. Then you got on the defense, Shane Gostisbehere is really good offensive D. Justin Hall, we'll see where he plays. Maybe he's more of a low-key underrated defensive guy, maybe on a second pairing perhaps. We'll have to wait and see what his role there is there. And for the backup, of course, they got James Reimer. As for the subtractions, though, they waived Philip Zadina, released him. He goes on to the San Jose Sharks. Not much of a loss, though, when we look at what he's doing at the NHL level. You also got Pius Suter as another forward that ended up going away. He hasn't signed with anybody yet, but last year got 24 points in 79 games. Also, Alex Chason away from the team, and on the goaltending side, Alex Nedeljkovic going to Pittsburgh. As for the players to watch, the Red Wings are going to take that next step. I have three different guys that I want to mention here, and three guys that actually aren't new additions. The first player to watch here for me is Moritz Seider, who in the first half of last year definitely was looking like a sophomore slump. Then again, once he got paired with Jake Wellman, it was a completely different story and he looked a lot better. To me, the Red Wings need him to be that amazing number one D throughout the entire season, be a lot more consistent in his third full NHL season, and that to me for that entire defense is going to be extremely important. You also forgot for the second player to watch here, Lucas Raymond, a player that last year also took a little bit of a step back in ways. He's a player that I still see a lot of top six upside in, but he really needs to show it here now. He has that locked in spot on that first line, potentially alongside Larkin and DeBrincat. This is the time to really show that first line talent, and I think he will. As for the third player to watch, I got Ville Husso, who they signed to be the starter in Detroit, but last year was an inconsistent mess. Some points was solid, but for a bigger chunk than what was needed, it was rather lackluster and below average. And to me, for the Red Wings, they need stability in net. Husso needs to be that guy, or else the Red Wings are down for another pitiful season. Which is a shame because this roster is looking pretty interesting. We're going to go and grade the forwards, the defense, and the goaltending now. As for the forwards, I think this is the best part of this Red Wings roster. You look at that top six, and it's so much better with DeBrincat, so much better with Compher being added. Hopefully, we'll see improving seasons at Raymond and Berggren after his rookie season. Perron's still in the mix there as well. And that bottom six, that depth is really strong for Detroit. Kopp as a third line center, Rasmussen as a fourth line center, as far as like Fisher, Costin, Fabry, Sprong. Really interesting bottom six that can score and bring some defense too. I'm going to give the forward group a B overall. Nothing that's going to blow you away, and I still think they lack a little bit of star power, but Larkin and DeBrincat help that, and the depth is pretty good there too. Now for the defense, I'm being a little bit optimistic with the decor here. I love Wallman. I'm really betting on Seider having a much better third season. Maybe we'll see Ben Sherratt rebound a little bit, but still the defense isn't all that perfect. I mean, I hope to goodness gracious that it's not a Sherratt and Hall pairing. That would be absolutely insane to think about, and rough to think about. But I think if they spread it out a little bit, it could be fine. It's not going to blow you away. I'm going to give it a B- as of right now. It is improved, but not by that much, really. Now going on to the goaltending, and this has the potential to be the biggest detriment for the Detroit Red Wings. You got Ville Husso and James Reimer, and if we're just going off this past year, I'd probably give the goaltending like a D+ or something. It really wasn't that good, but I do believe Husso can be better. Reimer could be interesting in a backup role. I'm going to give the goaltending a C+ as of right now, and that's also being a bit optimistic after what last year showed. And when we look at this Red Wings team, the depth I think is there, and potentially the goaltending could be there, but like we talked about with some of the players to watch, my biggest question will they be able to get enough out of those bigger players? Because they're going to be relied upon. Players like Larkin, Raymond, DeBrincat, Seider, these are the core 4 guys that are really going to, if the Red Wings are going to make the playoffs, really have to step up in every way. Besides Larkin, who has carried Detroit so much recently, everybody else needs to really push it up ahead and needs to become stars in their own right. Especially in that absolutely stacked Atlantic, they need players like Raymond to be a point per game. They need DeBrincat to have his best season. They need Moritz Seider to be a top 10 D. So much needs to go right, in my opinion, for this Red Wings team to be a playoff team, but it all goes up to the stars. Larkin can't carry this team anymore. That's just unacceptable. As of right now, there's still, to me, just too many question marks for this Red Wings team to really solidify them as a playoff team as of right now. For my standings predictions, I got them around 90 to 93 points, being 6th in the Atlantic, right behind the Ottawa Senators, in my opinion. They're a team that's strong, they're going to be competitive, and much better than last year, but maybe not as much as they would have hoped. But let's know in the comments down below. Am I wrong? Are the Red Wings a playoff team right now? Let us know how you see them doing this next year. Of course, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you're enjoying the breakdowns. Next up will be the Edmonton Oilers, 32 teams in 32 days, and we'll see you for the next one. Thank you so much for the support so far, y'all. You guys have been killing it, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, and goodbye.